Halloween! Where did that come from? That is right, everyone. Welcome back to the Lotus SMP, where we are over in the wonderful Halloween district, because we're going to be working here again today. And also, I've noticed some new stuff has popped up. So I want to take a quick look around. So, right, the Lotus Motel. I believe this is built by Dan. So, horses on loan for spooky vibes, freebies. What's this? Ooh, jack-o'-lanterns. You know what? I will take 5 of them. So what's the Lotus Motel? Like, am I allowed in here? I don't know if this is actually supposed to have anything. Like, do I get anything for coming in here? There's a chicken head. That's a bit weird. This one's labeled office. Oh, right. Okay. Oh, right. I know what this is. So basically, this is like we get to make a little scene using armor stands and everything. And I think you can build a little bit around it as well. So yeah, you can build a little scene and then basically it all gets voted on and like there's a winner and stuff. Okay. The other thing I want to quickly check, has anyone actually signed up for this yet? I don't think anyone has. That's a little bit depressing. Right, okay, the other thing that I want to take a look at is Slip's thing over here. This was built a while ago. Can I just... We got, like, Luma behind the counter and stuff. There's Drift. Is this just an aesthetic build? I have a feeling this is just an aesthetic build. I don't think this is actually for anything. Oh, I almost blew stuff up. Okay, right, let's get out of there. The last thing that I have noticed that I want to take a look at, this is interesting. And that flag right there tells me that this is a Draconis build. Okay. Again, I don't think it's anything functional, but it's definitely cool. Dude, this looks nice. I like this. Let's see, are there any secrets? No, no. Yep, no secrets. Okay, and the other reason why I am over here... Did they just take a shot at me? The other reason why I am over here is because I want to actually enter into the skin competition myself. Just because I can. I have an arrow right in my arm there. Ow. However, the thing is, I am not actually going to enter with the skin I'm wearing now. I'm not going to enter with Jam's wonderful face. I want to instead submit something that one of you guys made. So when I put out a community post ages ago asking for like ideas for what I could do for my Halloween skin and everything, one of you actually made something. And unfortunately, I already had the skin that I am using by that point, so I was never... That's not an ender chest. So I wasn't actually able to use it. However, I think as a little token of respect, I'm still gonna enter it into the skin competition. And this is the skin here. As you can see, it's a bit of a variation of me. But you know, I think since it was made by a fan and stuff, and like genuine, I do really appreciate the effort, I figure I might as well show a token of appreciation and enter this into the competition. Now, the thing is, even though I built this thing, I do actually need to read the rules because, I didn't. Right, okay, so there is my 1 diamond entry fee. Someone else has signed up. Who is that? Oh, it's Slip, who's over here. Okay. Now, an important thing to note for this is the skins can't actually be seen on the server yet. It's annoying, but basically we have to upload them to a resource pack in order for them to be visible. So yeah, even though I can't see what Slip's skin actually is right now, I'm definitely curious. My guess is it's like a guy bleeding out or something, and it's like he's stumbling forward and he's like, oh god, help me, please. That's what I would have to take as a guess. But anyway, so I think I'm actually gonna sign up for the one right next to it. And I know I'm allowed to change the pose and everything myself, but I would rather just not. So there we go, look at that, we've signed up. And anyway, that is enough shenanigans for the start of this episode. I have been recording for 15 minutes already. I want to continue to work here in the Halloween district and stuff just because, you know, I like Halloween. I should also probably change back to my actual outfit. I like Halloween. In fact, that's a bit of an understatement. I absolutely love Halloween. So whilst it is October and whilst we are in the Halloween district, I'm gonna bloody work on it. And I have had a bit of a fun idea. So here's the thing. I live in the UK, and whilst the UK does celebrate celebrate Halloween, we're not quite as big on it as you guys are in the US. And something I know that is sort of considered one of those stereotypical things in Halloween, but isn't really a thing that I have ever seen in real life, is apple bobbing. You know, the thing where, like, you have a barrel or something, and you just stick your head in it, and you pick out an apple. I don't entirely know why it's a thing, but, like, I sat here for a long time just umming and ahhing over what I could potentially build, and I think that's something that I could put a nice Minecrafty twist on. Now, of course, the thing is, there are several ways that I could sort of do this thing. Like, obviously, I could just grab a barrel like this, but the thing is, I can't put water in this barrel. So then I did a little more thinking and stuff, and I was like, well, what can I make a container that can sort of look like it's holding items with? And that then got me onto the idea of trapdoors, because, of course, spruce trapdoors have this really nice design to them, and personally, they're my favorite trapdoor, where basically they have the sort of metal rim that most barrels have around them. But also, the fun thing is, if you make a shape like this, then of course you can fill it with water. And there you go, you've got a water barrel. However, you can't do apple bobbing with this. Like, yeah, I could go and chuck a bunch of apples in there. Do I actually have apples? Oh, I do. So yeah, of course, I could go and chuck a bunch of apples in here and go, look at that, it's apple bobbing. I just picked them all up. I could do that, but like, it's not very fun, is it? So that is what then got me onto the idea of making this a mini game, which means we've got to upscale this barrel. And that also means that we've got to head over to the redstone testing world. Welcome everyone to this world, which you have seen before. And to be honest, not much progress has been made. You can ignore this. This is a failed project. So welcome everyone to the redstone testing world, where I want to work out what we can do with apple bobbing. I'm going to be saying the word apple bobbing a lot, aren't I? And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I genuinely don't know what this project is going to turn out like. I have a few ideas, but like, I really don't know. So something I've been thinking about is maybe a bit like, I think it's Impulse's game on the Hermitcraft server. I'm pretty sure it's his, where basically on the server, they have a bunch of grass and like, I think kelp and everything sliding down a wall. And then you have to collect as much as you can. And if you get to, I think it's like 24, then you get a prize or something. So like, I don't know, maybe you could do a similar sort of concept with a bunch of apples and red wool. The thing is, that doesn't feel like my idea, because I guess, like, it isn't. It's someone else's idea entirely. And also, this just doesn't feel like bobbing, does it? It's like, I want the player to have to dive down into water or something. However, I do still like the idea that you have to get a certain number of apples, maybe, to get a prize. I wonder, right, I've got to test something. What about something like this, maybe? So this is a little idea where basically, so all of this is running on an etho hop clock. Honestly, you've got to love these things. Best invention in Minecraft ever. But yeah, so basically this is acting just as a little timer, and what it's doing is it's swapping between soul sand and magma blocks. So of course, soul sand, it pushes items up so you can get items bouncing like this. Whereas of course, the magma blocks pull items down, and if we put a minecart hopper underneath, we can pick up the items. Except, of course, if it's soul sand at the bottom, then the items aren't going to get picked up because they're going to be bouncing up and down. So they're not going to make it to the bottom of the thing. So I wonder if maybe you could take a concept like that. So I guess, like, the player pushes a button, it dispenses a bunch of apples out, and then your job is to pick up as many as you can before they all get sucked down to the bottom. I mean, it's an idea. But the thing is, I think it would be too easy. Like, I know I could technically speed this up and stuff, but to give it enough time for all of the items to make it to the top and for someone to grab at least a few, you could probably swim around the entire barrel and just get enough. Plus, I think the fact that it would all have to be with, like, droppers and stuff, it would just push all of the apples to the edge. Because, of course, a dropper is going to provide all of that sideways momentum. So, basically, if you have a bunch of apples fired out, well, they're just gonna end up going to the other side of the barrel and then floating up the edge. So, essentially, you would just end up with a bunch of apples around the edge of the barrel. So, again, I don't think this idea works. But I do think there's something else I could do with this. In fact, yep, I've got an idea. I have a really nice idea with this, I think. So we're gonna take the limited time aspect of this with like the magma and the soul sand, or maybe just the conveyor belt sort of idea. And I think also the aspect of having to get a certain number of apples. And I'm gonna see if I can throw something together really quick. This could be a good idea. So what about an idea where basically you're in a massive room or something, and basically that room has a bunch of these sort of things. I know it's kind of a simple shape right now. Look, just pretend it's an apple. There we go. Look, we'll give it a little stalk and leaf as well. So let's say you're in a bunch of rooms like this, and essentially one redstone lamp is going to light up, and what you have to do is you've got to press the one that lights up. So it's kind of testing your reaction speed, and as you just saw there, it spat out an apple. But then when you press the one that lights up, the light on that one goes off, and suddenly another one in the room is going to light up. So essentially you've got to press it and go, okay, where's the next one? And you've got to get to it fast enough. Because then if you run out of time, then like either the entire system shuts down, or maybe the magma blocks come out and they screw you over like that. I quite like that idea. The one problem is, if I want this to be underwater, I think there's a little flaw about this. Yep, I can't use buttons. In fact, I can't really use anything. Like, I'm pretty sure there isn't something that I can use that will actually, that just removed the water. Like, yeah, nothing's gonna work. What about a bell? Like, I could do it without the water, but then it doesn't really feel like apple bobbing. It just feels like apple running. Or parkour. I could make it so you've got to put something in a barrel, maybe, or something, but then, like, I don't know, that feels like it's just not very intuitive. Like, oh gosh, run up to the apple. Okay, right, let me just, okay, there we go. I put my item in. Oh, where's the next one? It's over here. Let me run to that one and, again, put an item in. It doesn't feel very nice. I mean, like, I could indent it, but the problem with that is, essentially, if I want every single bit to have a water source, then that is not gonna flood? Wait, does that still not... Oh, was that because there's water everywhere else, though? Oh, wait, okay. So, never mind. I could do buttons, and actually, that's even harder to get to and stuff, because you gotta get to it, and then you've gotta press a button which is inside. Okay. And also, that actually makes it a little bit easier to get a redstone signal. Right, I'm gonna work on this idea, I think. So, just give me a little bit of time. Okay, so I think I have something fully set up here, and I am ready to test it. The thing is, I haven't tested this on a full scale yet. Like, I've only tested it with 2 possible apples. So now that I have all 9 of them hooked up, that's a little just scary. You might also notice that the buttons are gone. They're now replaced with note blocks. That's just because, first of all, it's easier to hit them. And secondly, it's because I realized I was testing the water incorrectly, and no, it does actually flow inside the apple and destroy the button. So yeah, currently it's just being tested with this. And as you can see, it's a complete mess of redstone. Just honestly, what is this spaghetti monster here? But this right here is how we select all of the different apples. As you can see, it's probably the most dense part of the redstone, although it's actually not that complicated. So if any of you guys have ever seen like an item sorter or like a storage system that sorts stuff automatically. That's what this is. It's essentially just an item sorter. So yeah, I'll give you a walkthrough of the redstone before I actually show you it working. So yeah, as I said, basic sort of item sorter. Basically, it just detects, okay, is there another bit of yellow wool in here? Then if there is, it will go into this chest. And you know, the same for all of the 8 other possible options. We can then take a comparator output from this and lead it all the way down to our first apple. So as you can see, the apple is lit up, but also we have pushed this block behind the observer. Now, if we come around the front of the apple here, as you can see, that observer is actually watching the note block. And what it means is if we hit that note block, the observer will detect it and then send a signal across this orange line. But also, because of the fact that the observer has to go through this block here, it means you can't just sort of spam the observer on any of the apples. It has to be the apple that is currently selected. So anyway, you hit the note block, the signal goes along this orange line. What does this orange line do? Well, what it does is it sends a signal to basically clear whatever apple is selected, and the fun thing about this system is because it is hooked up to that, basically you're never gonna run out of apples. Every single time you deselect one apple, you're always going to select another. So as I said, I do want to actually test this, so I'm going to take that wool out just so that we don't have like more wool than anything else. Right, okay, so the system is going and we have selected blue. That is apple number 6. So as we can see, this redstone signal's gone around. As you can see, the piston is also pushed out and the apple is lit up. So if we just hit that note block, it doesn't actually make a sound, but there we go, the apple is gone. And we've selected this one. Do you see what I mean? It just goes round in a loop. And right, okay, what one's gonna get selected next? There is a delay sometimes. Okay, I said sometimes, but like none of them are lit up now. Green. Why is green not lit up? Hello? Green? Oh, you're powered incorrectly, that's why. And that is why you test stuff. That should just be a repeater. And there we go, that works. So then we hit that again, and what one's gonna appear next? Look at that, we got the one all the way at the bottom. So there we go, we hit that, and yeah, basically, this is just how it works. It's actually a surprisingly simple system. Sorry, hold on, I've got a thing for this. It's really quite simple. Sorry, that was mean, but I just had to do it. But yeah, honestly, it is a really simple system. It's genuinely just an item sorter with a bunch of signals coming out of it. The only reason why it looks complicated is just because you've got this spaghetti of redstone all trying to take signals out of here. But yeah, so as for what there is to do next, I think first of all, I need a system that actually counts up your score. And originally I was going to do it so when you hit an apple, it throws an apple out at you. However, I don't know if I want to do that anymore. And the other thing that I need to do is, first of all, I might need to come up with a price structure because I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to do that. But also, this needs decorating. And I need to fill it with water, which, I'll be honest, is incredibly scary because there's some points where redstone is actually exposed. So if there is a platform here, nowhere for the water to go other than like out that way quickest. If I waterlog that, where does it go? It goes out there. Okay, so I have to come up with a way of covering this up without making the redstone get destroyed. But yeah, basically all I've got to do is just add a scoring system, add some decoration, and then we can put this into the world. Not entirely sure how I'm going to do some of those. But yeah, I'll see you when it's done. created the most addictive Minecraft game completely by accident. I am not joking. There are a few people that have played this so far, and they're getting addicted to it. I came up with this game in 3 days. How is it good? Yeah, welcome back, everyone. As you can see, we have now built the entire game. I did all of this in a day. That is not a joke. I did all of this in like 1 afternoon. And I do have to give a massive thank you to Draconis and stuff, because basically they provided a beacon for me. And yeah, I think without that beacon, I would still be digging this hole out. But yes, this is the game here. Welcome everyone to apple bobbing. I know, it's such an inventive name. I'll give you guys a rundown of how this works and like actually play around. You guys have not seen me play around of this yet. And then I want to show you how much this has made, because it is a lot. I mean, like, place your guesses in the comments or something maybe, but like, trust me, you're gonna be wrong. But anyway, the game is very simple. It's very self-explanatory. You just put your payment in this barrel, you stand on the andesite, and you press the button. And here we go. And basically, the objective is to hit every apple that lights up. And trust me, this is much harder than you think it is. It's kind of because of the conduit power and stuff. This is a really difficult game. Like, when you're spectating it and everything, it looks really easy because you're kind of staring at it and you're just like, well, how are they not noticing, like, that one's lit up and stuff? And basically, it's because we have night vision in the water and stuff, so you don't really notice a difference when one lights up. This is a really good round so far. I might actually get a high score here. Yeah, I also have a strategy for it. Obviously, like, I played it a few times and stuff just to test it. My strategy is basically just to float up here and spin in a circle. It might not be the best strategy, but it definitely works. Come on, this one, we're gonna be running out of time. You have 2.5 minutes in this game. Come on, get that one. I might be close to a high score here. I haven't been keeping track. And those note blocks there indicate the end of the game. I could hit that one, but it actually wouldn't do anything by this point. Once the game ends, it literally just stops counting your score. But anyway, so let's see. What was my score? I got 11. I matched it. Dang it. Right, okay. And then you just hit reset. And there we go, it closes. That is apple bobbing. It is such a simple concept. It's just essentially whack-a-mole, but like without the moles having a timer on them. But for some reason, this game has gotten people addicted. I don't know, just like everyone keeps trying to get the highest score and stuff. Currently, we're all stuck at 11. And I do kind of understand why it's addictive, because it is kind of a mix between skill and luck. Because yes, there is luck involved. You don't know which apples are gonna get selected, and sometimes they can take quite a while to light up. So like, I don't know, I guess it kind of falls into that perfect category of like, it's got just enough skill, so you feel like if you're not getting the personal best, then like, it's your fault. But at the same time, it's got just enough luck to stop people from consistently getting better. So I don't know, it just sort of chucks people into this weird sort of scenario where they keep wanting to replay it because they're convinced that they can get a better score. I've just made gambling on the Lotus SMP, and I have given several people an addiction to it. But anyway, so some of you are probably curious, how much money have I actually made from this? Well, I can tell you now, it's a lot more than you'd expect. It's a stack and 22. Now, here's a little fun fact about the building of this game as well. So I started this episode with 40 diamonds. Over the course of this episode, I have signed up for the skin competition. I've had to buy a bunch of rockets. I've had to buy a bunch of wool and also a bunch of dye. And all of that in combination brought my diamond count to 0. That is not a joke. That isn't an exaggeration. I hit 0 diamonds. And I have not gone mining at all. All of these diamonds have been earned purely from the game. I am now rich because I introduced gambling to the Lotus SMP. I don't even know what to say about that. And like you can see here, people really did get addicted quickly.
I'm getting a phone call. Ah, no, they have to wait. I'm in the middle of an intense game.
So what's your score?
8. I mean, for an incredibly rushed game, it's pretty well made.
Play it again and try and beat the high score.
Listen here, I don't want to go into debt right now.
I love seeing people's intense focus with this.
Come on. Come on, apples. Ah, here. 3. Where's the light? Ah, there it is.
Oh, look at that. It's the incredibly annoying note blocks that I told you about.
Yeah!
And your score is actually 6.
6. I hear it from here.
I'm coming. Oh my gosh. It's Jamothy. Oh no.
You got worse.
What?
It got worse.
I got a 7.
What is that? 8? Yep, 8. Oh, that's how I become rich. I just make a system where, like, the more diamonds you put in, the longer the round lasts.
Dude, wait, I will give you a stack of diamonds.
Oh my.
You are definitely earning me back the money that I spent on this, which I do appreciate. Donze, you're doing well. I believe in you. And if you don't make it, then you can just pay to play again.
Good point. I think you messed up the redstone because I'm not getting better. Okay, now I need to play 7 more times and then I need to take a break and go for diamonds.
All I wanted to do was just create a fun little game on the server for like a few days over Halloween. I just wanted to make a simple game over 3 days. And now I'm one of the richest people on the server.